Hey, Chris Estes here in the village of Tricot, 4 hours north of the Port-au-Prince airport in Haiti. I'm with a good friend now of mine, Daniel T. He's the leader, he's the director of Starfish Ministries inside of the village of Tricot, now leading thousands of people to a better way, to a better place, to a better life. And Daniel, appreciate you taking a few minutes to share with everyone, all of our audience, all of our listeners, all of our viewers. You have such a great story. This is a guy with perseverance, a guy with persistence, a guy who got knocked down, but he knew that if he could look up, he could get up, and that's what he kept doing. He kept getting up, he kept going after it, and he's made it in a big way. Daniel, maybe you can share with our viewers your story. You know, how long have you lived in Haiti? Are you from Haiti? And then you're the leader now, you're the director now, but I know you had humble beginnings. It wasn't always as easy as it maybe appears for people to see you now. Maybe you can talk about some of those early days of your life.
Well, thank you, Chris. It's good to be here and be talking about all of this. Well, I was born here and I grew up here. I've been living for 34 years. When I was growing up, things were always tough. But in all of this, I have seen God's hands, because I was able to make it. And the best thing I like about making it is that although you may be going through difficult times, but when you make it, those difficult times won't be written on your face, and people won't know all those roads that you have been on. But I thank God that I was able to make it. The beginnings were very humble, of course. We didn't have running water in our homes, and it was a 2-room house made with mud walls and stuff like that. And we were 4 kids in the family, so we didn't have a bed. We just found whatever we could to sleep on, and of course there were many other families like that. But today, where I'm at, it's through hard work and through perseverance that I was able to make it thus far, and I continue to be a hard worker and an enthusiastic learner, because when you live, you have to continue to learn.
One of the things I like so much about DT is he has a contagious smile, as you can see. And as I've always said, excitement is caught, not taught. You can catch it, you can't teach it. And one of the things that's been very obvious over the few days I've been here in this village is people catch the excitement. They catch the vision of DT and his leadership, and I'm just excited to pour into him. But DT, maybe you can share with everyone a couple of those moments of struggle or adversity, like walking to school, like the living on 1 Haitian dollar for a week as you were in your teenage years. Maybe you could expand on that.
Thank you very much. When I was going to school, I remember that my parents never had enough money to pay tuition. And tuition was about $1.50 US, which is about 20 Haitian dollars. But it was always a struggle. So my mom had to really save little she could find to make up for the tuition. And of course, my dad was just a farmer. And here in Haiti, in the farms, the farmers don't produce too much, because everybody pretty much is waiting on the rain. And when it doesn't rain, the crops don't produce as they should. So really, it took my mother's efforts as a retailer, to buy stuff and try to resell them, and to be able to feed us and pay for our school. And I remember that one week when I was going to school, and all my mother could find to give me to live on was $1. What that meant was I was spending 1 goud every day, which is about 20 cents a day, to be able to make it. So those days were very, very tough, but they taught me many lessons. They taught me how to persevere. They taught me how to be courageous. They taught me to keep the focus, to keep steady, because I had to make a choice. I knew that if I didn't continue to study and stay in school, and do the best that I could, then I probably would have lived my life, all my life, in this situation. But I was able to turn things around through perseverance, through hard work. It wasn't easy when I was going to school because I had to walk for 2.5 hours both ways. And a lot of my counterparts didn't want to do that because they thought it was too difficult, but I kept at it. And when people refused to study, I was studying. I always believed in education, and because of that, I was able to graduate from school and move on to college. And here I am today, making it. And of course, I'm very grateful to the Lord who saved me and who had allowed me to come this far.
DT could have easily allowed the adversity to become his tombstone, his death, but he instead made it his stepping stone, and he did persevere. And you know, one of the things I love about what I'm learning about you, DT, is your courage. And courage isn't the absence of fear, folks. It's acting in the face of fear. It's being afraid of something and doing it anyway. And that's what DT did. $1 Haitian dollar. What does that equate to in the States? What's one Haitian dollar?
$1 Haitian dollar is about 50 cents actually.
Okay, about 50 cents for the week. Had to be tough on you, walking 2.5 hours one way to school every day for, what was it, 4 years?
Yes.
4 years that he did that, day in, day out, every day. And what were the people around you, DT? What were they doing? Your friends, the people that you maybe hung out with after school. What were they doing?
Well, I used to go to school with 2 friends of mine. One was my brother and one was my cousin. But halfway through the year, the first year, when they decided that things were too tough for them, they moved to Port-au-Prince, leaving me alone on the road. So I used to go to school in the afternoon. School started at 1 and it would end at 6. So when I was coming back from school, it was always dark with no flashlight and on foot. So that was very difficult. But though my friend decided to quit, I decided that I was going to keep going, because you make choices in life every day. You have to make a choice. You don't just sit there and wait for things to happen, but you have to make a decision. So when my friends decided to quit, I decided to keep on going. And today, I keep on walking because I have a vision. I know where I'm supposed to go, and I know I'm not going to get there if I just stay on the road and just watch people passing by.
You know, DT, we have a saying that by the mile it's a trial, by the yard it's hard, but by the inch it's a cinch. You know, DT, you talked about the choices that you make and taking those steps, and I've said it many times, the choices you make you, and every day when we wake up we can decide to be a winner or a whiner. We can look at our cup as half filled or half spilled. We can become better or we can become bitter, and you've decided to take the positive road on all of that and to make things happen, not let things happen, and I'm just so proud of you. You know, there was a devastating event that happened here several years ago with the earthquake, and you know, so many people lost their lives, and I know someone of significance to you was caught up in that tragedy. I know that had to be tough, and you could have easily thrown in the towel and said, you know, I faced so much adversity in my life, I'm done, I quit, I'm giving up, but you allowed that to be a stepping stone for you. Share with everyone what that was about.
Thank you, Chris. When the earthquake happened, I didn't really know what was going on until you know, after 5 minutes or so when I went out. I actually was doing some report cards in a building that had 2 stories on top of me. So if that building came down, I wouldn't be here today. But the Lord protected me. So when I went out is when I realized what had happened. And I remember that I saw a kid that was bleeding so bad. I took that kid, put him in my car, and I was rushing him to the hospital, not knowing what had happened. And that kid actually ended up dying in my car. So afterwards, that's when I decided to go downtown, which is by the area where the palace is located. That's where my girlfriend at the time was going to school. She was studying to be a nurse, and when I got there, when I looked at the building, then I instantly knew what had happened. I knew that it was going to be a very difficult situation. I knew it was going to be difficult to get out of that building the way that it looked, because it really looked like a sandwich. It just came down on the girls. So she died there. I tried to save her, but it was too late. But still today, her mom and I, we are still good friends, because we really had to be there for each other when that happened. But I was able to move away from the effects of that. Now, it doesn't mean that it was easy, because when you have somebody so close to you that passed away in such a tragedy, then it takes time. It takes time to cope with it. It takes time to, I would say, accept it and live with it. It doesn't mean that I forget what had happened, but I was able to move from that. And now I'm married and I have one boy and I have a girl coming up.
Congratulations to you, DT. That's awesome. Again, we should all be striving to be more like DT and overcoming the adversities in our life. It's not easy to do, but DT decided, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to make it anyway. I'm going to make it in spite of all these challenges that I'm being faced with. And that says something about who you are, DT, and why you're leading such a great group of people here in this village. Now, you speak English incredibly well. How many languages do you know?
I speak 3 languages. I speak Creole, which is the native language, and then because we were colonized by France, then French has become one of the official languages of Haiti, and I speak French, and I speak English, so I speak 3 languages.
So I guess I should be saying bonsoir right now, right? Good afternoon.
That was good.
Now, how long did it take you to learn English in a way in which we could communicate?
Well, I didn't go to school to learn English. I actually had the benefit of listening to missionaries that used to come to this village. Actually, missionaries have been coming here for over 20 years. So I was able to just pick it up from them and read from books and study a little bit, and then I was able to speak it. I don't know how it all happened, but it's just something that I guess I have.
Yeah, well, I think it happened every day over time. That slight edge, that compound effect. Now tell everybody, what are some things that you do listen to or that you watch or that you read from a development standpoint? You and I talked about the mindset of people yesterday on our ride here, and I just loved the fact that you're a learner and that you're a reader, and we always say leaders are readers and learners are earners, and that's why you've been so successful. Maybe share with everyone some of the things that you're doing.
What I do on a daily basis, I have the job that I'm supposed to focus on, but I still find enough time to read a book, to read the Bible especially. I sing on a daily basis. I play the guitar whenever I have time. You are the treasure that I see. You're my all in all. But right now I'm studying how to develop people, how to be a people person. I've just read the book by Dr. John C. Maxwell. It was good stuff. And I have just started a new book. Recently I read the book of Nehemiah in the Bible, so I keep reading because you have to get insights from all different books, and the most incredible author of all ages, the God who created the universe.
That is exceptional. And one of the things I love about DT is he knows a lot. but he also knows it's what you learn after you know it all that counts, and you're a continual learner. Now, any of you who are listening right now, you're being inspired and you're just feeling led to bless other people, and you'd like to participate in Starfish Ministries in some form or fashion, would encourage you to visit our website at starfishministries.org. Check it out, and if you feel led, would certainly appreciate anything that you can do. We want to encourage you this week to pay the price. You know, Daniel, you paid a big price early in your life. You've continued to pay a price. Folks, you can pay now and play later, or you can play now and pay later. Daniel T. here chose to pay the price. That's allowed him to lead thousands of people to a better life. As we close this interview up, and appreciate your time, DT, a lot of things going on in the village. You're being pulled one direction and the other. You know, what's the goal moving forward for you? What's the goal for Starfish Ministries? What's the goal for the village here at Tricot?
What we are actually involved in is helping students be better academically. We have some schools that we support. We have some of our own. We feed a lot of students 5 days a week. We have an orphanage that, where we take care of kids and help them better their lives. We help a lot of old folks when they can't find enough money to live on or enough food to live on. We help them out. Right now we're in the process of starting to operate a clinic, and it's an exciting project because if you can help people with their health, you need health to continue to do what you do every day. And sometimes you cannot prevent a sickness from hitting us, but when they do, we need to know that there's a place where we can find help with our health. So it's an exciting project that we are just starting on. And then I need more education, I guess, because they say that you know, the last time you study is when you die, and I'm not dead, I'm still alive, so I'm going to continue to study.
Folks, great wisdom with the leader, with the director here at Starfish Ministries in the village of Tricot. You're not working in the clinic though, right?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. And I just want to encourage all of you to focus on being a blessing. Receive the blessings that you get, but focus on paying it forward. Be a blessing like DT is being here with so many lives. And of course, we will end this with the Get Your Hopes Up. Get your hopes up this week, get your hopes up this month, and get your hopes up for 2015. Thank you all for your time.